Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. B&B spoilers, can Finn kill his own cousin to save Steffy Forrester? This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, all roads lead to Poppy Nozawa's, Romy Park's, apartment where Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline Massinswood, is being held hostage. With the race to save Queen Steffy on, can her husband with a moral compass actually save her? Here's what's coming up next on Bold and Beautiful, spoilers ahead. The Bold and Beautiful summer whodunit is winding down, and for the grand finale Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, has Steffy Forrester locked in a cage at a demolition site. Luna is clearly no as sweet as she looks, and we know for a fact she's capable of murder. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Steffy Forrester caught Luna Nozawa kissing Bill Spencer. Steffy busted Luna kissing her ex-dad Bill Spencer, Don Diamond, and Luna knew she had to silence her before she squealed. Despite not being Bill's daughter, Luna still has her eyes on the prize and the Spencer mansion. There's no way she's going to risk letting Steffy live to tell about this and put her in jail. According to B&B spoilers, the clock is ticking at the demolition site, and it won't be long before Steffy takes her final breath. In true soap opera fashion, her handsome husband has put on his superhero cape and is en route to save her at the last minute. But when Dr. John Finnegan, Tanner Novlan, arrives to save Steffy, will there be an altercation? If Luna Nozawa is still babysitting her hostage, Finn will have to get through his sweet little cousin to save his wife. The good doctor will most likely be thrown for a loop when he learns what Luna has done, and there's a good chance that he will be so thrown off that Luna will have the upper hand. B&B spoilers, Finn Finnegan can't reason with wacky Luna Nozawa. Luna put her own mother behind bars for 2 murders she didn't commit. If Finn thinks he can reason with his cousin, he is sadly mistaken. But is Dr. Finn capable of killing his own family to save his wife if he has to? The halls of the Forrester mansion buzzed with tension, the kind that made even the most lavish furnishings seem oppressive. Steffy Forrester was at the center of it all, her eyes darting nervously as she paced the room. She had faced countless threats before, but this one was different. This time it was personal, and it was tearing her family apart. At the heart of the matter was Dr. John Finn Finnegan, Steffy's devoted husband, who found himself caught in an impossible situation. The very essence of his oath as a doctor, to do no harm, was being challenged in ways he could never have anticipated. His world was crumbling, and the reason for it was someone he never thought would be a threat: his own cousin Luna. Luna had always been an enigma, a shadow in the background of Finn's life. She was a distant relative, someone Finn had known growing up, but had lost touch with over the years. But now Luna had returned to Los Angeles, and with her came a darkness that threatened to engulf everything Finn held dear. It all started with whispers. Luna had fallen in with dangerous people who operated in the shadows, dealing in secrets and leverage. Finn had initially brushed off the rumors as idle gossip, but soon the whispers turned into cold, hard facts. Luna had become entangled with a powerful and ruthless crime syndicate, one that had set its sights on the Forrester family. Their target was Steffy, and Luna was their inside woman. Steffy had noticed the change in Luna almost immediately. The once carefree and kind-hearted cousin was now distant, her eyes filled with a mixture of guilt and something darker, fear. Steffy had tried to reach out, to understand what was happening, but Luna's walls were impenetrable. The more she tried to help, the more Luna pushed her away. Then came the threats. Anonymous letters, cryptic phone calls, and shadowy figures lurking outside the Forrester estate. It was clear that whoever Luna was involved with wanted to make Steffy suffer, and they were using Luna to do it. But why? What had Steffy done to deserve this? The answer was terrifyingly simple. Nothing. She was simply a pawn in a much larger, more sinister game. Finn's heart ached as he watched the love of his life spiral into fear and paranoia. He had vowed to protect Steffy, to stand by her no matter what, but how could he do that when the threat was coming from his own flesh and blood? Luna was family, and Finn had always believed in family above all else, but now that belief was being tested in the most brutal way imaginable. The breaking point came one stormy night when Finn received a call from Luna. Her voice was shaky, filled with panic. She begged him to meet her at a secluded spot near the cliffs overlooking the ocean. Finn's instincts screamed at him to be cautious, but he couldn't ignore the desperation in her voice. Steffy insisted on coming with him, her own fear for Luna's safety outweighing her better judgment. When they arrived, the scene was eerie. Luna stood near the edge of the cliffs, her figure silhouetted against the dark, churning sea. Finn could barely recognize her. She looked like a woman on the brink of madness. Her eyes, once warm and familiar, were now wild and unfocused. She clutched a small, unmarked box to her chest, as if it contained the last shreds of her sanity. "Luna, what's going on?" Finn called out, keeping his voice calm despite the storm of emotions raging inside him. Luna didn't answer immediately. Instead, she turned to face the ocean, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs. Finally, she spoke, her voice barely audible above the roar of the waves. They said they would kill me if I didn't do what they asked," she whispered, her words slurred with fear. "But I can't hurt you, Finn. I can't hurt Steffy." Finn's heart twisted in his chest. He took a step closer, but Luna recoiled, backing dangerously close to the edge of the cliff. "Luna, please," Steffy urged, her voice pleading. "We can help you. Whatever this is, we can figure it out together." Luna shook her head violently, her hair whipping around her face. "You don't understand. It's too late. They're watching us. They're always watching. If I don't do this, they'll kill me. They'll kill all of us." In that moment, Finn realized the full extent of the horror they were facing. The box Luna held, it was a detonator. A small, inconspicuous device, but one that had the power to destroy everything. Finn's blood ran cold. Luna had been forced into a corner, and now the only way out was through devastation. "Luna, listen to me," Finn said, his voice steady, though his mind raced with terror. "You don't have to do this. There's another way. We can get you out of this, but you need to trust me." For a brief moment, something flickered in Luna's eyes, hope, perhaps, but it was quickly overshadowed by resignation. "I can't, Finn. I'm sorry. I never wanted it to come to this." With that, Luna pressed the button. The sound of the explosion was deafening, the force of it sending shockwaves through the air. Finn's world turned to chaos as he was thrown to the ground, the impact knocking the breath out of him. He reached for Steffy, his only thought to protect her, but everything was a blur of smoke, debris, and pain. When the dust settled, Finn's first instinct was to search for Steffy. His heart pounded in his chest as he frantically called her name. Relief flooded him when he heard her weak, but alive, voice calling back to him. She was hurt, but she was okay. They had survived. But Luna was gone. The blast had taken her over the edge of the cliff, into the dark waters below. Finn stumbled to the edge, peering into the abyss, but there was nothing to see, only the cold, unforgiving sea. Tears streamed down Finn's face as the reality of what had just happened hit him. He had lost his cousin, not to death, but to the twisted machinations of those who had preyed on her fears and weaknesses. He had been forced into a situation where he had to choose between saving the love of his life and trying to save his cousin, and in the end he had failed to save either. As Steffy wrapped her arms around him, offering what comfort she could, Finn knew that their lives would never be the same. The scars from this night would haunt them forever, a painful reminder of the darkness that had nearly destroyed them. And yet, despite the tragedy, there was one small solace. They were still together, still alive. Finn would have to live with the knowledge that he couldn't save Luna, but he had saved Steffy. That was his only comfort in the aftermath of the storm, a fragile, precious thread of hope in a world that had shown him just how cruel it could be.